All right, welcome. Today we're going to tackle the single most fundamental concept in all of programming. I'm not exaggerating. If you get this right, you are absolutely on your way to building amazing things. So, what is it? What's that one big idea? It's a huge question, right? But the answer is actually super simple. It's the variable. Seriously, everything you'll ever build, from the tiniest script to a massive application, it all starts right here. Okay, so let's really break this down. The best way to think about a variable is to picture a labeled box. That's it. You give the box a name, like my stuff, and you put something inside it. Later, when you need that thing, you don't have to go searching for it. You just call out the box's name. It's really that simple. So, what does this look like in actual code? Well, check this out. We can create a variable, our box, called name, and put the value Alice inside it. Same for age, we put 25 in there. Now, that equals sign is super important, and it trips a lot of people up at first. It doesn't mean is equal to like in math. In programming, it's the assignment operator. It means, hey computer, take the thing on the right and store it in the box I've named on the left.
So, what kind of stuff can we actually put in these boxes? I mean, is it all the same? Nope. And that's where data types come in. Let's go through the 5 most common types you are going to use every single day. First up, we've got strings. A string is just text. Anything you wrap in quotes, and Python doesn't care if they're single or double quotes, is treated as text. A name, a message, a street address. If you can type it as words, it's a string. Next are integers, and these are exactly what they sound like. They're your simple, straightforward whole numbers. No fractions, no decimals. You know, if you're counting how many apples you have or what year it is, you're using an integer. But what if you do need that decimal point? Well, for that, we have floats. The fancy name is a floating point number, but all you need to remember is this. If it's a number with a dot in it, like a price or a precise measurement, it's a float. Now for something a little different. Booleans. These are incredibly simple, but also incredibly powerful. A Boolean can only ever be one of 2 things, true or false. That's it. They are the simple answer to any yes or no question your code needs to ask. Is the user logged in? True. Is the game over? False. And finally, we have lists. So what if you want to store a whole bunch of things together in just one variable? That's what a list is for. It's like a shopping list, right? We use these square brackets, and we can just toss multiple items inside, separated by commas. It's a super handy way to keep related data all in one place. Okay, you might be wondering, why do we even need all these different types? Why does it matter? Well, this is why. This is absolutely crucial. If you tell the computer to add the integers 5 and 10, it does math and you get 15. Perfect. But look what happens if you add the strings 5 and 10. The computer doesn't see numbers anymore. It just sees 2 pieces of text, and its job is to stick them together, so you get 510. The data type completely changes the outcome. So, we know what variables are and what kind of stuff we can put in them. The next piece of the puzzle is, what can we name them? And listen, these aren't just suggestions or friendly advice. If you break these rules, your code simply will not work. This table lays it all out beautifully. First, your variable name has to start with a letter or an underscore, never ever a number. Second, no spaces allowed. If you have 2 words, you connect them with an underscore. Third, the only things you can use are letters, numbers, and the underscore. No dashes, no ampersands, none of that. And this last one is so important. Names are case sensitive. A variable called name with a lowercase n is a completely different box than one called name with a capital N. Okay, so you know the hard rules that stop your code from breaking, but then there's another level to this, the style guide. These are the conventions that professional developers follow to make sure their code is clean, readable, and easy for other people to understand. So when it comes to style, the gold standard in the Python world is something called snake case. It's really simple, all lowercase letters, and you just separate words with an underscore. Now, you might see other styles like camel case in other languages, and they might technically work in Python, but using snake case shows that you're writing code the way the Python community does it. It's how the pros write it. This one might seem totally obvious, but I can't stress it enough. Name your variables after the information they're holding. A variable named customer email tells you exactly what's inside. A variable named CE, that's a mystery. Trust me, writing clear names is a gift to your future self when you have to come back and figure out what your own code does 6 months from now. And one last style tip. If you have a variable, but its value should never, ever change throughout your program, like a tax rate or the maximum number of attempts in a game, the convention is to write its name in all capital letters. This doesn't stop the computer from changing it, but it's a universal signal to other developers that says, hey, this is a constant, don't mess with it.
Phew, we have all the pieces now. We know what variables are, we know about their data types, and we know the right way to name them. So let's put it all together and see why this is so incredibly powerful with a quick, practical example. Let's pretend we're building a tiny little shopping cart. First step, we need to store the price of an apple. It's $2.50, so that's a decimal, which means we'll use a float. We'll call it apple_price. Step 2, how many apples are we buying? Let's say 3. That's a whole number, so we'll use an integer variable. And now, here's the magic. To get the total cost, we just multiply apple_price by number of apples. The code is clean, it's readable, and it gives us the right answer. See how variables just made that real-world calculation incredibly simple?
Okay, let's do a super quick recap. Remember, a variable is just a labeled container for data. The 5 big data types you'll use all the time are strings for text, integers and floats for numbers, booleans for true or false, and lists for collections of items. The naming rules are strict, no breaking those, and for professional, readable code, always use descriptive snake case names. And that's it. You now have the fundamental building block of all software. Think about it. You can take any piece of information from the world around you, a name, a number, a price, a decision, and you can store it in your code. So the only question left is, what are you going to build with it?